Seafood has been a staple of the Japanese diet, and the Japanese are the largest eel consumers, thanks to the bountiful ocean that surrounds the island country. But often they do have to pay quite the premium for it. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel, where today we're going to be talking about why Japanese eel is so expensive. But before we get into it, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell icon so you always get notified when we post a brand new video for you. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into some of these reasons. Number 1. Breeding eels remains impossible. Eels reproduce only once in their lifetime and die. They wait for a special time before migrating to the seawater to reproduce. They go when the temperature is right, and it may be the season or the phase of a new moon. The exact time or season is honestly kinda unknown because no eel has been discovered spawning yet. It is as difficult as finding one to lay eggs. In the Sargasso Sea, a common eel spawning ground, they found eggs but rarely mature eels were found. With that, artificial ways of breeding eels for commercial farming purposes have not been successful. Until new methods are discovered, the eel industry will not be truly sustainable and will remain dependent on the supply of wild glass eels. But let's go ahead and move on to our next reason. Number 2, they require constant attention and feeding them is expensive. To ameliorate its decreasing supply, young eels are kept in ponds and aquacultures in warmer countries and in tanks in countries with cold climates. But raising eels requires constant attention. They are fed 2 to 3 times per day of a high-protein fish meal, wheat, soybean meal, and fish oil. Small ones are to be separated from the larger ones to keep them from being eaten. Tanks are constantly kept clean to keep them from getting sick. All this special care has to be done for 6 to 12 months before they're big enough and ready in the market. And that brings us to our number 3 reason. They have a complicated lifestyle. Unagi, or the Anguilla japonica, is harvested from fresh water. Though it comes from fresh water, like all other eels, these creatures have a complex lifestyle. They migrate at every stage of their life between fresh water and into the seas. Japanese eels are catadromous, meaning they spawn in the sea in the developing larval and juvenile stages, and then migrate to fresh water to grow to adult size. The exact life cycle of this fish species has been unknown since ancient times, because it was impossible to track down eggs or larvae in their natural habitats like rivers or coastal areas. Mature Japanese eels do undergo long spawning migrations over thousands of kilometers, without feeding from various inland water bodies to the ocean. And that leads us to our next reason. They are already considered as an endangered species. Japanese eels were classified as endangered since 2014, and because of low domestic catch, the majority of eels eaten are imported from China and Taiwan. Like the bluefin tuna, the unagi is reaching extinction. May it be because of climate change, widespread habitat modification, environmental pollution, overexploitation of wild stocks, or the vast consumption of eels, we are not very sure. Other factors affecting the decrease in their numbers may include water pollution, which affects the baby eels or the glass eels. Pollution also makes them prone to diseases and parasites leading to their early death. Construction of floodgates is another factor that prevents them from transferring between saltwater and freshwater. Since their spawning grounds exist in the seas, the floodgates keep them away from hatching their eggs. And another reason is probably another factor that prevents their reproduction is the mass harvesting of glass eels and elvers that have no chance of reaching their matured stage ever. But there is one final reason on why the Japanese eel is so expensive, and that leads us to number 5, the way it is prepared. The kabayaki may look simple, but the way kabayaki is cooked requires skill. Preparing takes years to master. There is a saying that skewering takes 3 years, slicing takes 8 years, and grilling needs a whole life to master. The eels were sliced open in the belly. Some chefs steam the eel first before grilling to achieve the best texture. Eels are constantly monitored and dipped into sauce between grilling while it's cooking to achieve even grilling. Surigaya, a Japanese restaurant, has been serving eel for over 150 years. They serve the kabayaki with rice in a lacquer box, which they call the unaju. It can cost up to $91 depending on the price of adult eel at the time. But anyways guys, next time you go out to eat, are you guys going to be eating eel? Make sure you guys go ahead and let us know down in the comments below. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you guys go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn post notifications on so you always get notified when we post a brand new video for you. Don't worry guys, we're signing off for now, but we will go ahead and see you all in the next one. Peace.